Before exhuming the ancestors of others, a feng shui master will usually pick up a small handful of land to taste. If the taste is normal, he would dare to help the other family open the coffin. But today, Kim seemed to have encountered something that could not be touched. He tasted the land around the tomb, and his expression immediately became serious. When he looked up, he discovered that the tombstone did not even have a name. When he went to check carefully, he saw a row of words in the left corner. After that, he stood at the top of the tomb to look far away and felt even more insecure. So he asked the homeowner who had chosen this place for his grandfather to be stored like this. The homeowner said his grandfather was a great contributor in World War II. There was a man who was a feng shui mage who chose this feng shui place for his grandfather. Because grave theft was rampant that year, so the new magician placed his grandfather in this place. And there was no name on the tombstone. Although the answer of the owner is very reasonable, Mr. Kim, with his feeling of insecurity, is still very hesitant, so he chose to give up this business. This made Kim's partner very angry because the homeowner had offered a high price, enough for them to finish it, so they retired and had to think of a way. Mr. Kim calmly felt that it was complicated and then said that he had never encountered such a cruel piece of land in 30 years. The aura is so serious. Since going to the mountain, he has not seen the whole mountain fenced like a private mountain around. The peak of the mountain also had a much heavier sound than the last time. He also saw that a fox appeared around the grave. But the fox often considers the tomb to be its area, so Korean people think that where there is a fox, it will not be suitable for burial. Moreover, Mr. Kim saw that this place was a cursed land, so he thought that this place was a place to nurture evil souls. It is not a suitable place for burial. If you deliberately grave here, people may suffer because of this. Although this is extremely dangerous, Mr. Kim's partner still does not want to give up this opportunity. So everyone came to the homeowner to discuss. At the same time, they also learned of the owner's suffering. After his grandfather left, the house began to have strange things happen. The owner's father was paralyzed, so he had to sit in a wheelchair, and his brother did not know why he had a mental illness, so he killed himself. Previously, the owner also invited others to see feng shui, but no one dared to touch the grave of his grandfather. After that, the whole family migrated to the United States, because they thought that if they were a bit away from their grandfather, they would probably be unscathed. But they still couldn't escape. His wife had an unknown pregnancy. Now it is difficult to have a child, but since birth, the child has always been crying. Even the best hospital in the United States could not find the cause. If so, the homeowner will find it difficult to protect himself. So the homeowner contacted Jim, a magician who has the ability to talk to the soul. Looking at the baby's pupils, she could see that their ancestors had a problem. She guessed the soul of the homeowner's grandfather was very miserable, so it caused trouble for the next life. But because she did not understand feng shui and the grave, she came to Mr. Kim and Yeong-geun to cooperate. If the owner told all this story, Mr. Kim would not escape anymore. He said the thing carved on the steel was the coordinates. Those coordinates are the position of the tomb. Those who claim to be the fox mage chose a place like this. He certainly had a secret not to tell anyone. After hearing the story, he did not dare to touch it. When everyone was still silent, Jim Hwa proposed what was best at that time. It was the ceremony and calling the soul at the same time. When Mr. Kim finished all the sacrifices, it was based on the request of Jim to invite 5 people to dig the tombs of the pig. Bong-gil copied the horse's blood to anoint them. Then cut a pinch of their hair into the mouth of the pig. In doing so, the attention of the soul in the grave will move from the grave to the pigs. After that, Jim used the method of sacrifice to ward off ghosts. After finishing all, the household members will stand in front of a memorial speech. Bong-gil will sit at the side, reciting the mantra while beating the drum. Jim Hwa has a knife on her lap. Then put both hands into the fire barrel, apply it on the face, and then stabbed with a knife a few times but was not injured. This proves that she had the protection of the gods. At the same time, the homeowner will share a few graves, and the excavation of the grave begins. When the masons were digging, Jim Hwa constantly stabbed the 5 pigs. The main purpose is to help the tomb not be noticed by the devil. Kim was worried, so he kept looking at the tomb, only afraid of what could not be controlled. Fortunately, after half an hour, the gravediggers finally dug the wooden coffin. When Kim and Yeong-geun went down, they immediately felt a cold spine. 2 people walked on the soil layer on the coffin when they discovered on the coffin a cluster of red cloth. Although other people did not see anything
wrong, Mr. Kim, with his rich experience, had just looked at this and knew it was the burial of the Japanese. On the red cloth, the position and status of his grandfather. Until now, Mr. Kim understood why the owner spent so much money. It turned out that his grandfather was not a Korean hero, but a traitor who followed the Japanese fascists. This is the reason why the tombstone has no name. When they pulled the red cloth, they discovered that the coffin was made from bok tung tree. It is a type of wood used for coffins this year. Only the noble royal family used it. The whole process, nothing unusual happened. Mr. Kim felt more relieved, seeing that it was carried out. Mr. Kim threw a sou coin into the grave. Because on the coin, there was an engraved image of the general, so he could use it to shock the souls that had not left. The mourners told people not to eat meat today and then put the coffin into the car. They just left. The gravediggers continued to dig around, hoping to be able to find some burial items. But before he had dug much, a red and black snake suddenly appeared. But its head was shaped like a long-haired woman. Because he was so scared, he stabbed it, cutting it in two. The snake's tragic scream echoed throughout the mountain. Although only Hwa-rim heard that strange shout, she did not know what was happening. When she was dumbfounded, she saw the sky, which was clearly blue, suddenly darken. The wind also began to blow strongly. When the car had just left the mountain, it began to rain heavily. According to Pariah's concept, cremation when it rains is a bad sign, which will make the soul unable to reincarnate well. So Mr. Kim proposed leaving the coffin in the closet of a hospital and waiting for a beautiful day to cremate later. Although the homeowner really wanted to cremate right away, he did not want to harm his grandfather, so he still agreed with Mr. Kim's proposal. After that, the homeowner increased thanks to the relationship and found a nearby private hospital. He gave the person in charge a little money and then temporarily put the coffin into the room. But when the person in charge knew the coffin was not opened, he began to feel greedy. He waited until everyone was going to eat and tried to open the coffin. A luxurious coffin like this would surely have a lot of money inside. But when he had just pried open a corner, he did not expect Sim Hwa and Bong-gil to return. The two of them saw this scene and immediately stopped him, but it was too late. The grandfather's soul came out from the coffin. The horrific resentment made Sim Hwa, standing at the door, faint. Soon after, the father living in America of the homeowner heard the call of his father during a thunderstorm. "My son, open the door for me. Father has come in." After he opened the door, a cold air struck the room. He heard the sound of eating and drinking on the dining table, then felt a cold air transmitted behind him. "You enjoy the amount of assets I left, yet you dare to let me suffer cold?" After saying that, his grandfather held his son from behind, then thrust his hand into his chest, crushed his heart out. At this time, his wife was in the dance room, dancing to the TV. The grandfather also danced with his daughter-in-law, then pressed the daughter-in-law to the ground, squeezed her until she was exhaling. Also at this time, Sim Hwa, after fainting, regained consciousness. Apart from her nose bleeding, there was no serious problem. Hwa Sim knows that the grandfather's soul will go to cause trouble for his children, so he quickly told Kim to protect the homeowner in Korea, and she will go to Bong-gil to the room containing the coffin. She told Bong-gil to pick up the pine branch to make the smell lure the soul. Once the old man entered, Mr. Gun would have to pull the rope to hold him back. After the preparation is completed, Sim Hwa both beat drums and sang a song called The Soul of the Magician. Soon, the pine trees in Bong-gil's hand fell to the ground. This means that the soul of the old man has entered him. Bong-gil, don't release him. "Oh, hello, why is it so angry? If you have anything, you can hear it. Today, here, just say it all. Don't go away. We have to go to our children and grandchildren. Going within, this is not possible." At the same time, Bong-gil vomited. The call of the Sim's soul also failed. On the side of Mr. Kim, after opening the door of the homeowner's hotel, the homeowner was very strange. He drank up to 10 water bottles. Now, his grandfather's coffin? The fox bites off the tiger's waist. What? The fox bites off the tiger's waist. Hearing the owner constantly use Japanese to say, "The fox bites off the tiger's waist," Mr. Kim realized that the grandfather's soul had come here. When Mr. Kim was still trying to analyze what the other sentence meant, the owner's neck turned 180 degrees. "I said the fox bites off the tiger's waist." Then a creaking sound rang. The young homeowner had been killed. Seeing everything was gradually disappearing, Mr. Kim still cared if it rained or not. Immediately let the coffin go to burial. He then told the butler to contact the owner's family in the US to ask the other family to agree to cremation. But the owner's father was also killed by his grandfather, so the butler could not contact him. But fortunately, the owner's wife had not happened anything. After learning that
her father had lost his life at his hand, she immediately agreed to cremate. Also at this time, the old man also went to the disease room. He came to harm the only life after the only survival. He put his hand on the child's chest. The vital signs immediately changed, but because the Korean coffin had begun to be cremated, the evil old man soon flew away. After that, the owner's wife no longer fussed. The boy was normal again. Mr. Kim still thought that everything was over. But unexpectedly, there was still a more scary thing waiting for him to face. The curse of the tomb after killing the red flower snake. When he got home, he was ill. He went to the hospital to check. All the normal indicators, like the corners of his eyes, did not explain why they were bleeding. Mr. Kim, rich in information, immediately went to find out, knowing that snake is a woman's curse from far away in Japan. As long as anyone who meets it will be seriously ill. He decided to find that snake, then leave the super SIM card for it. Only like that can save the life of the shaman. But when Mr. Kim continued, he suddenly felt that the iron rod touched something. Mr. Kim discovered that there was still a coffin. In the same way, Mr. Kim has met several times already. But the coffin below was upright. This is the first time Mr. Kim witnessed it. So he immediately called his teammate to the cemetery. When people dug half, it was found that there is a lot of barbed wire outside. Do not know whether the outsiders open the coffin or are afraid of the inside escaping. More frightening is that when people dug the coffin out, this coffin was nearly 3 meters long. Although this coffin is extremely strange, now they cannot care about anything else. Because it was about dark, they could only ask people to carry the coffin down the mountain. They then found a small temple nearby. The master received them. Kim told everyone to put the coffin into the warehouse to prevent unexpected things from happening. Simha sprinkled rice around the coffin and also shed blood on it. When the owner's wife came here, she did not know why the grave of her father had another coffin. Finally, under the questions of Mr. Kim, she took out a picture of her father and Japanese family. She said the person who chose the tomb position for her father was called the Fox, a very famous Japanese feng shui teacher. Hearing this, Mr. Kim immediately remembered the sentence that the owner said before he died. The fox bites off the tiger's waist. Now, after knowing that the fox is a feng shui teacher, what does the other waist mean? But her grandmother just said she knew that. Before you ask Mr. Kim to please handle this coffin, she will replace her nephew to pay for them. Moments later, they started the superficial snake. Waiting for the morning to come, they would take the coffin to cremate when eating rice. From the master's words, Mr. Kim knew that it was a long time ago. In this place, there is a group of grave mixers. Their purpose is to mix anonymous tombs on the top of the mountain. Although this tomb is extremely bizarre, Mr. Kim did not think so much. Waiting for tomorrow to handle the coffin, they will leave immediately. But when everyone was fast asleep, Bong-gil dreamed that his master was standing on him. He was constantly saying that his organs were hooked by the monster, being aware that he was being crushed by the devil. Bong-gil drew the prayer to solve it. He was not assured, so he should find his master. But he discovered that his master was not in the room. Realizing that something was not good, he came to call Simha sleeping in the car to wake up. He told her that he wanted to check the coffin. But when Simha was about to sit up, the grandmother's soul pulled her hand, told her it was dangerous. Her grandmother was also a magician. After her death, she was always beside Simha. But Simha does not want to let Bong-gil face such danger alone. When the two of them came to the warehouse, they discovered that the coffin was opened by someone. Because there was rice and horse blood, the inside was definitely the evil spirit escaping. Also next to the master's body. Ha saw that, then immediately told Bong-gil's group to get up, and she would stay to check what happened. First, she found a hat in the coffin, then saw a shadow outside the door. She wanted to be careful to go out to see, and immediately saw a shadow of a person taller than 2 meters standing outside. The door opened. Is it a human? I come here to leave my hat. Is it humanity? No, not. The body is not human. His subordinates? Is it really? So, have you prepared fish and smells yet? Didn't you hear the words of your lord? I took the enemy's head. No, no, the body has prepared fish for him. Although Simha used Japanese to talk to the evil spirit, it was still recognized by the opponent. When Simha was dumbfounded, she saw the evil spirit stood on the roof of the house. You are humanity. Realize the evil spirit wants to attack you. Simha was scared and pushed the door out. Bong-gil heard the sound and needed to follow. He used iron sticks to stab the evil spirit. But because the opposite has protective armor, along with his tall figure, Bong-gil now looks very small. Running away, Simha had not yet reacted. Bong-gil was controlled by the evil spirit.
Then he threw his hand into Bong-gil's stomach. Bong-gil! When the evil spirit wants to take action with Sim, the surrounding objects have attracted his attention. It was the pagoda tower. The evil spirit looked towards the sky, then clasped his hands. His mouth started reciting the text. Soon his body gradually became fiery. When Kim and Yeong-geun chanted, the scene was threatened by the scene of fear of spraying glue. The evil spirit then turned into a fireball and began to fly in circles in the sky, seemingly finding its own home. Then, after flying a few rounds, the fireball flew to its goal. Seeing that Bong-gil was standing on the verge of death, everyone immediately took him to the hospital. Although after the emergency, the doctor retained a life for Bong-gil, because he was hurt in organs and life, he had to be hospitalized to observe more to be able to make a final conclusion. But after hearing the two spine words, Mr. Kim remembered the picture on the wall. After World War II, the 38th parallel divided Korea, and North Korea is called the spine. Remembering here, Mr. Kim suddenly realized something. Then he immediately drove to the other owner. After searching, he found the equipment that the group of grave mixers used. From the drawer, he found a feng shui diary. While checking, he saw a picture of the grave mixer group. Behind the photo, the group of them was called Iron Blood Type. Through the content in the diary, Mr. Kim learned that this group of people was not a group of grave mixers, but a group of patriotic feng shui teachers. He understood the true meaning of the fox sentence biting the tiger's waist. So he went to the unknown tomb again, wanting to dig a cut or sword something in it. But unexpectedly, after digging, Mr. Kim saw that the evil spirit came back here. This made him feel scared, but fortunately it was 3 days, so the evil spirit could not do anything to him. After returning home, Mr. Kim called everyone. He said that when the Korean peninsula was not yet divided, this land was shaped like a tiger. But the position engraved on the tombstone is the tiger's waist. The feng shui of Japan plugged an iron stake in the middle of the tiger's waist. The goal is to kill the fate of the whole peninsula. Mr. Kim said that this is the meaning of the fox sentence biting the tiger's waist. Iron blood type at that time found out about the tiger's conspiracy, so they lived in the nearby temple to find the opportunity to remove the iron pile. The mission of the evil spirit is to protect the iron pile. Mr. Kim said that if it was impossible to remove the iron pile, North and South Korea, once divided, will soon be destroyed. For the future generation of everyone, Mr. Kim said that he had to pull the iron pile out. By then, the evil spirit protecting the iron pile will also be naturally destroyed. Seeing the attitude of Mr. Kim so steadfast, Sim and Yeong-geun, after an inner struggle, finally agreed with Mr. Kim. Hwa-rim said that although she couldn't beat the evil spirit, she had a way to hold it for an hour to keep it safe. Hwa-rim also writes the literature full of people. It has the effect of preventing evil spirits from attacking. When people went to the mountain, it was dark. They threw the fish that the evil spirit liked to eat into the hole, then used it as a conductor and threw it to an old tree. Wait until 2 a.m., a large hand rose from the ground. It picked up the other fish. Out of the soil, it picked up the fish on the way and put it into the mouth to chew. Sim Hwa saw that, immediately burned the prepared grass, then stuffed it into the tree. Along with that, a white smoke radiated everywhere. When the evil spirit went to the front of the old tree, the hat was lost at her temple. Then he heard the sound of Sim Hwa pretending to be the tree to talk to him. My mountain is so excited. This mountain is a mountain of people. Not wrong, this is my mountain. But why don't we hear gunshots and swords? Not so, the war has ended. No, our battle has not ended. Also at that time, Mr. Kim and Yeong-geun jumped into the pit. They immediately risked digging. On the side of Sim Hwa, after talking, he knew the evil spirit was the general commander of more than 10,000 generals in World War II. Later, when the fox knew he died, he took his body along with the bodies of other generals, stitching them together. Then used a long sword to pierce his body, then sewed the head of his general into his body. Finally, the fox placed his uncle on the body that made him the strongest evil in Japan. The button he was in the coffin forever. The goal is to let Korea's destiny gradually be defeated. The iron pile Mr. Kim is looking for is the sword stuffed in the evil spirit. And the grandfather of the owner buried here is just a trick of the eye of the fox. Mr. Gunn dug for more than half an hour and still not seeing the iron pile, so he went out to see if Sim was in danger. Mr. Kim still did not know anything, still persistently digging iron stakes. Also at this time, because it is too much, Sim Hwa has been discovered by the evil spirit. When Sim Hwa thought that she would die in this place, her grandmother suddenly appeared behind. Sim Hwa saw that and immediately left here. When the two ghosts were fighting each other, the evil spirit seemed to feel someone is in the tomb. He immediately screamed and then turned into a fireball flying into the sky. Mr. Gun and Sim Hwa are in fear. Immediately running towards the tomb, Mr. Kim was still digging non-stop. When he saw the fireball in the sky, he was temporarily threatened to stand still. Although Mr. Gun shouted loudly, he did not have any movements. Has anyone seen an attendant? It was fire. That fire stabbed directly into the ground. Come here. Do you want to become my subordinates? Otherwise, do you want to give us your liver? The literature is written on people. Over 500 years, iron is plugged in soil. Protect the fire this place. Do not wait for Mr. Kim to analyze. The evil spirit immediately stabbed his finger into his stomach and then pulled out. Hwa-sim saw that, then determined to fill the horse's blood that she had prepared into the evil spirit. The evil spirit was covered with horse blood. Without clouds, it immediately ran back. But Hwa-sim did not know that horse blood, although it may hurt the evil, cannot kill it. So, when the two of them were checking Mr. Kim's injury, the evil spirit from the back rushed. It treated them as easily as chickens. Seeing 3 people going to die here, Hwa-sim said one sentence. The iron pile is in the evil spirit. Put the last hope on Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim heard that and immediately awakened. If the evil spirit was made into iron piles, then his 5 elements would be metal. Remembering as a needle, Mr. Kim picked up a wooden stick on the ground and stabbed it into the evil spirit. So, Mr. Gun, if this technique works, then pick up another hoe, stabbing continuously into the evil spirit. But later, he had to be bewildered. At this time, Mr. Kim was no longer afraid. Thinking about the evil spirit just now turned into a fireball, the more he proved that it was fire. That fire must use a wooden piece containing water to overcome. Mr. Kim applied horseblood on his body, on a wooden stick, and slashed directly into the back of the evil spirit. In a little bit, it caused the evil pane to be broken. Seeing such an effect, Mr. Kim added another one again. The evil spirit is still in pain. He used all the power to complement the last mental strength, causing the evil spirit to be slashed into 2 pieces. His brave and wise action has made Sim Hwa and Yeong-geun admire him. This old man risked his life but could be so strong. After this, Mr. Kim asked for emergency care, so he kept his life and became a friend's patient with a bubble in the next room. But the murder that happened for several days now was considered by the police to be caused by wild bears in the forest. So, under the frenzy of the media, this wild bear had to fall. But whether the bear is to receive the death penalty has been in the top, becoming the topic of discussion for everyone. The movie ends here. What do you think about this movie? Leave a comment below for everyone to know. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next videos.